Now, if you're a seasoned salesperson and you love to sell and you're just really anxious to get going, you could possibly skip this chapter. However, if you're still a person who is not quite convinced that the sales is your thing and you know you got to do it because your income depends upon it, or if you've got a team of people that are a little uncomfortable and you got to get them across the line, let's just talk for a minute about what sales is and what it's not. It's really simple. My grandfather told me once a long time ago, Blair, the secret to success in business is simple. Find out what people want and just give it to them. Help them find it. Serving other people. The more people you serve, the more money you make. That's all this is about. If you think about it, some of the greatest leaders in history, Jesus Christ, Martin Luther King, Henry V, General Patton, Gandhi, John F. Kennedy, I could go right down the list, that almost every great leader you have ever seen was in sales. What did they do? They communicated a vision. They were able to get people to do things that they didn't think they could do. And a great leader has got to be a great salesperson. Who else is going to articulate the vision? Who else is going to get people motivated? Who else is going to help people be who it is that they want to be? And in the process, you get to be who you want to be, which I know if you're watching this now is to be a great leader. It's about helping other people out. Simple steps to help other people have better life, have a better business, better health, better relationships, whatever. Isn't that what you want for yourself? And that's why sometimes teaching and selling what it is you want for yourself even drives more passion, because in you delivering it to others, you're getting it for yourself. The idea of sales is about building relationships. It's about building relationships. A relationship where you get what you want, someone else gets what they want, and you're able to serve a lot of people. And so let's get rid of the word closing, for example, if that makes you uncomfortable. What you're doing is making an offer. You're offering and doing your best to help other people. I'm going to give you the biggest hint of all. The biggest hint of all when looking at sales is you got to cultivate your desire to serve. I have a little motto, serve first. It's not about trying to take somebody down. This is about finding out what people want and doing your best to serve others. So if you consider yourself to be a person that genuinely likes to help, are you? Are you the type of person that likes to help other people? I know you are. You wouldn't be here. Then sales is for you. Now let's talk about what it's not. Sales is not a contest. This is not a contest of will and who's more clever and who's got the best statements and who's got the trickier comebacks. That's not it. That may be it for some people, but it's not a contest. This is about building a relationship. It's not a takedown. It's not arm wrestling. It's not win-lose. Those are old stereotypes that many of us grew up with because, what we saw in the insurance business and used car business and all those types of things. That's not sales. It used to be the adage was buyer beware because the salesperson was going to take advantage. Well, those days are over. It's now seller beware because any buyer that you're dealing with has access to more information than probably you do. So your job is simply to help them go through the forest of opportunities, forest of choices to find what it is that they want. It's not buyer beware. It's seller beware. You beware. Be informed. Do your best to serve. Don't try to blow smoke and use mirrors. That's old school. It's not what we're talking about here. The final thing to think about in sales, it's not an all or nothing deal. People say, well, you got to get to the close, and they either do it now or it's never. And that's it. You know what? That's not my experience. Sales is way different than sports. Sports, when the clock runs out, the game's over. But in sales, if a person says no or they're not interested, that just means they're not interested right now. Just because you're ready to sell doesn't mean they're ready to buy. And the nice thing about sales as opposed to sports, you can always get a rematch. You can always call back up a few days later and say, you know what? I was thinking about our conversation, and there's a couple things I wanted to ask you just to make sure that we're on the same page. And you can always get back in there if you followed all the steps that we're talking about and you're truly there to build relationships. So remember, sales is about service. Sales, service, leadership. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about takedown contests, win, lose, any of that kind of stuff. Strongest energy wins. That's not it. Highest energy wins. And one more point that I'll put in right now is this. Remember, when you meet another person, most people would like to feel good. And one of my teachers, Alan Walter, once said, if you could raise another person's mood level within 3 minutes and they have at least some interest, they're going to buy from you. Why? Because you make them feel good about themselves. Think about that. If you were just in the business of helping people feel good about themselves, their self-concept, helping them find things that they want, serving other people, how great of a life would that be? That's the life that's in store for you, and there's a lot of money in it too if you follow the steps.